Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, as the case may be. The Bill Crane reports on the air. Be by my side is my good friend, Dwayne Weiss.
Good all them things to you, too.
We're here to bring you another in a series of award-winning shows.
Much in demand.
Much in demand. And by the way, before we get rolling on all the gory details, as you may or may not have noticed, I didn't shave this morning.
Nobody noticed.
No. Well, it's a shame. I was reading an article that the younger Hollywood-type women like guys with a little scruff. So I figured to myself, why not? I mean...
I think the difference is, Bill, our scruff don't really come in as scruff anymore. It just comes in as powdery white little stubbles. These hunks that they're talking about are the guys that got the 5 o'clock shadow and the tough-looking guys.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, those guys.
Damn, there's always something to
always
mess
a
up
catch.
the program.
Always a catch, isn't there?
I figured this would bring a whole new audience, the young hotties, to watching our show.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Folks, breaking with tradition, which I want to do from time to time, rather than start right in with ranting and raving, I'm going to have some show and tell. Some interesting things have happened, and I want to tell you about them. First of all, legal seafood, shrimp and corn chowder, which I love.
Okay.
It's available in the stores. But what could possibly go wrong with this, you say? Well, took the top off, and there's a plastic thing here.
Mm-hmm.
There are no tabs on it.
Well, of course not.
You cannot get that thing off.
You take a big knife and stab it.
Yeah, well, that's what I eventually did.
But don't stab it too hard because it flies all over.
I know, I did that too. But I'm thick-headed, you see. I worked on this sucker for 5 minutes, and I could not budge that thing. So, I know that our show has a lot of viewers from the greatest generation and folks that are along in years. So, boys and girls, if you get this and it's very tasty, don't mess with this. Just take a knife and put it in there,
poke a hole in
very
it.
carefully start it around, and then you can tear it off. But don't be like me and wrestle with it for 5 minutes. Obviously, a pathological madman designed this.
Yeah, I read someplace, some company, when they put out a package, first thing they've got to go to the CEO's office, and if he can't open it in 25 or 30 seconds, he says, no, we're not going to use it.
Boy, he obviously doesn't work for legal seafood.
No, well, there's some of them out there that are just,
Yeah.
You can't even cut them open with a knife.
No, I know it.
What do they call them, oyster shell or a shell package?
Yeah, those little rascals.
Oh, my God, they're awful.
Yeah, and not only that, I like Ritz crackers.
Yep.
I must tell you, this little window into Billy's life, but I like soup. I like Campbell's canned soup.
Yeah, I like soup.
Chunky soup. I can cook it. I'm independent. And I break up a handful of Ritz crackers and put them on the top of the soup. Add a little body to the soup. Well, I'll tell you what. You pull one of those sleeves out of a Ritz package,
Yep.
and some of them, you try to pull them apart.
Oh, yeah, they're
Nasty.
put together with steel rivets or something.
The same guy that did that soup thing probably did the Ritz thing, too. He's
A lot of that came after these people started adulterating things on the shelf. And companies did that to protect themselves.
Absolutely right. And children were able
Yeah.
to open some stuff too.
That's
so
right.
they had to make it impossible for normal people to open the stuff up. I don't know. Well, anyway, so much for that. Now, boys and girls, do any of you use Gillette Sensor 2 plastic disposable razor blades? I
Nope.
do. I find them very good. It has a little pivot on it. Has a Teflon strip or whatever the heck it is. And I get 12, 15
Yeah.
shaves out of one blade. Yeah. So I find it very good and cost effective. But this caught my eye. 12 for the price of 9.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I bought them, and I took them home and counted them, and there was 12 in there. But the previous batch that I had was 9 for the price of 8. I opened them up and counted them. There was 7 in there.
That you get. I don't know what's going on with some of this stuff.
Well, I called
and what they do?
Procter and Gamble. Oh, dearie me, they said. Are there any numbers on the package?
Oh yeah, they want the codes.
Yeah. I said, I don't see any. Well, could you, and eventually I read them, this thing here, the code, and, oh, good, good. Thank you very much. Well, for all your inconvenience, we'll send you a gift certificate in the mail. They
Yeah.
sent me a gift certificate for $10
That's
for
good.
Gillette products. Yeah.
That's excellent. Some people, I've called companies just. I don't call them to be a nudge, but I call them if they really might have a problem. We recently bought a 12-pack of Del Monte beans, I believe, string beans at BJ's. You know, it came in a case of 12. And we pulled one out, and I said, boy, this one don't sound right. I opened it up. The liquid was in there, and there was 2 little pieces of bean. Well, I worked in the canning factories during college, and I know that these things go by 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't hit what it's supposed to hit. So I said, you might want to check your. I said, I worked in a canning factory. She said, well, okay. Well, she said, we want to replace that. She worried about it, and I said, BJ, she said, what's that? I said, it's a wholesale club, and it comes in. Well, how many were in a case? I said, 12. They sent a certificate for a whole 12.
Beautiful.
I thought, well, hell, man, they'll give me something for a can, you know, but they sent me the thing for the whole 12. I was curious.
Come in a 12-pack. It's a
Yeah.
hell of a lot easier for them to take care of you just by
Yeah,
saying,
just
here's
throwing
a
it, yeah.
certificate, goodbye.
Yeah,
And it makes you happier.
yeah.
Good.
And
Well,
I-
anyway, folks, one little adjunct to this story. I know a lady that is on multiple pills every day. When she gets the prescriptions,
No, I
she
know where you're going.
counts the pills.
Yep,
And she said half the time the count is wrong.
yep.
Now, it's no big tragedy. In a bottle of 100, you might get 102 or 99 or something. But she said, I don't want to exaggerate, but I don't know, maybe half the time the count is wrong.
Yeah. I got called an idiot at home for doing that. I got a prescription of 90.
Would you like
There
to
were
know?
little pills. And I said, there's not 90 in here. So I'm out there counting. And my wife comes out, what are you doing? I said, I'm counting to see if there's 90. She says, you're an idiot.
You know, there's a list at home I have of the amount of reasons for my wife calling me an idiot. I'm on the 3rd page on it now.
I think
So-
that's a plague out there. We're all idiots.
So, folks, heads up. Count the stuff that comes in these packages. You may be surprised.
Or see the logic. Go look at French's 12-ounce mustard container now. It says 40% more on it. You think, well, I'm getting 40% more for free. Then a little fine print, than there are other package that has so many ounces in it. Well, anybody can do the math. They imply that you get 40% more free.
Guess again.
You're not. You're just
No.
it's just telling you it's 40% more.
Well, so, U.S. Postal Service envelope.
Yep.
Find them in any post office. You also find them in the subsidiaries that work with the post
Sure.
office. And one in particular that I go to is a copy center.
Yep.
Now, I ordered 40 copies of something, okay? I don't like to use my home copier because I'm always putting ink in the damn thing. So it's cheaper for me to go have them bang 40 copies out for 7 cents a copy. So I went over. I've gone over so many times, and I've often said the same thing. As they hand me the stack of 40, can you put them in an envelope for me, please? We don't have envelopes. I said, let me tell you something. It's summertime. I have the windows down in my car. I don't like air conditioning. And when I put these things on the seat, they blow all over the damn car. Now, you mean to tell me you don't have an envelope that you can't put my 40 copies in? She said, reached under the counter and got a priority mail thing. And she put them in that.
I don't know which one of you are going to go to federal prison now, but
Oh, well, now, I said to her, I said, now, listen to me. I said, that's not your property. That's the U.S. Postal Service property. I pay for this damn thing. All right? You're taking post office property and giving it to me. And with that, she just goes, thank you, sir, and she pushes it at me. I said, you know, you could probably buy 100 of the flat 11 by 14 traditional paper bags that lay flat for about 2 cents a piece. I said, why don't you tell your boss to stop being such a cheapskate? Thank you for helping us out, sir.
did you get banned from that one too?
Well, no, it gets
Oh,
better.
okay.
I said, this thing cost the government
Oh, God.
probably a dime or 15 cents a
Hey,
piece.
Are you kidding me?
This is a good
Time they got
envelope.
done with it was $2.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I said, this is really a waste of taxpayer money, you giving me this. She said, well, I have had that complaint before, sir, and I have said, why don't you bring them back to us and we'll recycle them and use them again. I said, oh, that's great. I said, here you are with a mask on behind a plastic barrier, and you're telling me to take this envelope that I brought into my house that may have every germ known to man in my house and bring it back to you so you can give it to some unsuspecting person. She said, have a nice day.
What
So-
are you going to do?
I don't know, but I was mad. And that's ridiculous. How many times have they given me these things? I don't know, probably 20 times.
Probably.
I've complained 20 times. Doesn't do a damn bit of good. There.
Tomorrow you'll have the postal inspector knocking on your door.
Just like in Seinfeld.
Just like in Seinfeld, that's right.
Well, so now we can go to alternate sites to get our driver's license renewed.
Yep.
AAA.
AAA.
Yeah, great.
I don't know anybody would go to the registry anymore.
Right, I agree. So, you know what? I went to AAA.
Yep. What happened? Did you get in trouble there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So she took care of me.
Yep.
I said, hey, by the way, I said, you know what? I've had cataract surgery. My vision now is, I'm sure would pass the test. I don't need the must have wear glasses thing on. So she said, well, just take your glasses off and poke your head right in there. And I did. I read the line she told me. She said, that takes care of that, sir.
Yep.
That endorsement is off. I said, oh, okay. So she gave me this temporary driver's license. I didn't look at it. I went home. I folded it up, as you can see, and put it in my wallet. So I pulled it out when I went to a store and said, by the way, do you have a veteran's discount? And they said, yeah.
You have that on your license?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Smart man.
They didn't put it on.
The veterans or the...
When she typed it up at AAA and emailed it to the registry, she left off the veteran. I went back up and pointed out the error of her ways. First of all, she told me, well, are you sure you... I said, yes, I'm sure I did. I gave you my old license. That has veteran right on it. Well, I guess it's our mistake then. I'll redo it and send it to the registry. She gave me a new temporary card that says veteran on it. So,
Let me guess.
the endorsements, is back on.
That's what I thought was
The
gonna happen.
eyeglasses
Yeah.
endorsement is back on again. So I'm all set with the veterans, but now I'm saddled with the glasses again. So I said to my wife, what am I to do about this? She said, stop complaining, put your license in your pocket and shut
Shut
up.
up.
It
Well,
was,
you can go back the third time and try again if you want.
It was a real time saver to
Oh,
do
yeah.
this. I mean, but you know what? They have signs out front wanting to hire people.
Yep.
And need I go any further?
No.
No. All right. Also, as part of my show and tell, I'll just very quickly point out this is the first time I have ever seen an empty suit on the cover of Time magazine.
Oh, yeah.
This is former Senator John Kerry from Massachusetts. I thought, first of all, it looks like something from embalming school.
It does.
Yeah. And I said, oh, they've got a John Kerry dummy they use now at embalming school. But no, it's an actual, I guess, living picture of him. So, Dwayne has an interesting story about Time magazine.
Yep.
This is where it
Haunting.
came from. Dwayne shares
my
his
issue.
extras with me.
Would
And
you care to read the expiration date of my subscription down there?
2 November 20.
I still get it. It's over a year now.
Yeah.
It's been gone. It's been done. But every issue keeps coming like clockwork.
This tells you how desperate Time magazine is for circulation.
Oh, absolutely.
Dwayne has been getting free copies for a year.
Yep. But
Unbelievable.
a lot of the publications, you know, all the publications charge their rate, their advertising rate, based on
Exactly.
how many subscribers they have, how many issues they sell. And sometimes it's cheaper to give the magazine away to keep your numbers up, to keep your advertising rate up.
Exactly. They want General Motors to
Oh,
have
yeah.
some Cadillac ads in here. and-
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, and in order to get it, they've got to have the numbers.
I just got one that, if you open up the magazine, and it's a good magazine, it was Smithsonian.
Oh,
And if you took the copy inside, they wanted $45 a year. if you get the magazine, I just got one, renew it for 2 years for $11 plus a gift subscription to somebody else
Yeah.
for $11.
I do the same thing with the World War II magazines
Okay.
that I send over to you.
Yep.
Okay? I got a
We swap reading material.
Yeah. I got a notice that my subscription would run out in 2 or 3 months, and I could subscribe at 2 years for $55.
Yep.
I said to myself, well, I did the math, and I'm saying to myself, this isn't a great deal for Billy. So I called him. I said, yeah, I've been with you folks for quite a while. I'm a senior citizen, struggling on a fixed income. Certainly, $55 can be improved. He goes, just a second, sir. So you say to yourself, he's moving mountains to help me.
Yeah, sure he is.
Yeah, he's sitting there twiddling his thumbs. All right, I've let him sit long enough.
Yep.
Sir, I can possibly extend you 2 years with a special promotional price I just found in my computer. How's 2 years for $32 sound? I said, sounds a hell of a lot better than 55. I said, do it. I didn't have the heart to whittle them down any further because it's a good magazine.
Yeah, well, it's excellent. See, folks, if you got a problem with anything like that, you can go to Channel 4 or Channel 5 or just talk to a couple old curmudgeons like Bill
Yeah.
and I.
Yeah, I mean, there's no brain surgery involved in calling these people and saying, look, I subscribe to you folks for 1995 as my first year or something like that, and then you whack me over the head with 2 years for $55. I said, that's not good.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to come to your house and beat you up for calling them?
But today, if you don't ask, you don't get.
That's right.
You got to ask. But you got to be reasonable, too. We have a member in our family that is a coupon clipper.
Oh, really?
And we'll sit there at a store, a grocery store, for example, and argue that it was a 32-pack, got the 50 cents off, but they had it changed it to a 29-pack now. They didn't get it. And stand there forever and ever. And I, come on, let's go.
Well, I'm in her camp. I'm of the
You'd
camp.
stand there and argue over that 50-cent coupon.
Could you page the manager, please? Yeah. I can't remember whether it was my wife or one of my kids. It was with me at Roach Brothers, and they had the little finger sandwiches, a 2-pack of them,
Yep.
and a side of either potato salad or coleslaw or something of that nature. I don't know, $3.99 or something like that, and I just picked it up real quick. It was egg salad. I like egg salad. If any of you send me any lunch or anything like that and have a specialty, if you make egg salad, send me a batch. I like it.
Now, you better bring it in with the mayonnaise. You might get food poisoning.
I always have mayonnaise on my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I brought them to the counter, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. The checkout counter. I said, wait a minute. And the manager, Tom, happened to be standing over at the end, talking at the desk with the senior person that oversees that stands. I said, Tom, can you come over for a second? I said, what's going on with these sandwiches? I didn't look at them when I picked them up. These things aren't even half filled. He goes, yeah. What is the matter with these things? And off he went. I guess when he came back, he said, I had quite a talk with the fellow. He's right now taking everything out of that section and refilling it.
I will stand there and stand my ground for something really stupid that's going on. And it's been 2 years now, and it was at a Dunkin' Donuts, but it's not a Dunkin' Donuts in this town, so don't, I've never had any trouble with these people. But we had a coupon, buy a half a dozen donuts, get one free. So I went and I stopped. I said, well, I'll pick up a half a dozen donuts. You know, there's a dozen price, a half dozen price, and an each price. So she says to how much it is, and I said, whoa, that can't be. I said, it's half a dozen donuts, I don't know, $3, in those days, $3. She says, well, no, you got this coupon. You get one free. So you get your 6 donuts, but one is free, so you're only buying 5. So I got to charge you the individual price for the 5. I said, wait a minute. I'm paying more now using the coupon than I would if I did just walked in here off the street. Yeah, you do. I said, no, that's not how it works. I said, it's supposed to be, if you buy a half a dozen donuts, you get 7 donuts for that half a dozen price. Oh, no, it says get one free, and that means that you're only going to go to pay for 5, but you're going to get one. I said, oh, my God. We went round and round and round. Finally, the guy from the back had to come out and tell her, no, that's not how it is. But I just couldn't believe the logic that she was using. It made no sense, but I couldn't convince her otherwise either.
You know, I'm not sure this happened at a Dunkin' Donuts, but I think it was either a Dunkin' Donuts or a McDonald's. I went in, a cup of coffee, please. Large coffee, just milk, no sugar. That's, you know. Mm-hmm. And she goes, well, all right. She was hesitant. She brought it back, and she said, the computer is down. I said, okay. I said, it's $1.09. I said, God, yeah. Here's a $5 bill. Nothing. Dead silence.
I have no idea what to do with it if they got to do any math.
I said, what's wrong? Pray tell. I knew in my heart of hearts what was wrong, but what's wrong, pray tell? Don't you have the correct change? I said, no. I said, why don't you just open the drawer of the cash register in the traditional fashion and make change?
It doesn't tell her what to take out of there. She can't do it.
I said, $3.79 or whatever it was. I said, I'll help you. Okay? $3.79 or $3.89, whatever it was. Now, she's still, finally, she goes like this. Count it out yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
She couldn't even count coins.
I had one in a drugstore where I had a 50% off coupon. It was $9.99 price, and she was stumped because she can't divide $9.99 by 2 and come out even. She says, my drawer won't come out right. I'll be a penny off one way or another. I said, oh, God. I said, just charge me $5, take the extra penny out and throw it away.
Yeah. Put it in your pocket.
Put it in your pocket.
Consider it a tip. Ah. Anyway, in my little show and tell, I have one more. I've saved the best for
Okay,
last.
what do we got?
Folks, have you ever seen this mysterious object before?
Oh, I have. I got 2 of them with dead batteries.
Yeah. It's a fob, key fob, and it controls your doors, your trunk, and also, toot toot, your horn. Standard equipment on just about every car now. Now, this happens to be a General Motors one, and it works quite well. However, my wife has a Nissan Rogue, and the Nissan, they approach it a little differently. You get something that looks like a half of a cigar.
Okay.
Kind of an elongated thing. And it goes in a hole in the dashboard. And once it's in there, then you can hit start, a button, and the car starts.
Mm-hmm.
When you come to stop, you put your foot on the brake, and when you want to kill it, you go hit start, and it stops
Stops,
again.
Yep.
You can't do a damn thing in that car, though, without that fob.
Yep.
Now, it can go in the shelf in the little hidey hole, or you can have it in your pocket.
Yeah, right.
As long as the car can sense
That it's
the
there.
computer chip, you're in Fat City. Well, my car is mysterious. There are ghosts and gremlins that lock doors haphazardly, lock me in from time to time, so you gotta roll the window down to get out. So anyway, the fob died. And I celebrated. I said, "You miserable damn thing, you're dead. I'm going to throw you out." And then my wife intervened. Get it fixed. Well, in this cigar-like device is a little notch. Hit the notch, and guess what you pull out of the side? A key.
Oh, really?
And embedded in the key is a computer chip.
Well,
So I thought, stupidly, that inside the cigar was a chip. It's not, it's the key.
it's in the key. I sat in a national parking where they with rental cars a couple of years ago. They had one of them fobby things. What the hell do I do with this thing? I couldn't figure it out. Finally, a lot guy went by, and I said, "What do you do with this?" He said, "Oh," he said, "push that little button. It was like a switchblade. Boop! The key popped out, just straight out of it." I said, "I've been fooling with this thing for 15 minutes. I couldn't figure out what the hell that was."
That reminds me of the first time I ever rented a Nissan Altima. Not Altima, what's the next one up? The hot rod.
Maxima.
Maxima.
Yeah, I had one of those.
And I said, "Oh boy, down to a quarter of the time." I had the car for the week, you know. It was a nice car too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
And I pulled in the gas station, got out, looked at the flap, couldn't open it for the gas. So I looked at the dashboard all over the bloody place. I'm sitting there saying, "This is designed by the same madman that probably made the soup container."
Yeah.
So finally, I got out and I said to the guy beside, that was gassing up at the next pump, I said, "You know anything about Nissans?" He said, "What do you need?" I said, "How the hell do you get the gas cap, get the gas flap to open?" It's just a little lever on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And not quite underneath the seat, but right there is a little lever. You pull it up and the thing opens.
Toyota's got the same thing. It's got the trunk and the gas cap
Yeah.
door right there.
What's wrong with the dashboard with a little note on it? This
Nothing.
is the flap that opens. So, back to my story about the Nissan. I called a Nissan dealership. Described the problem. He says, "Yeah." He says, "You need a new unit." I said, "Well, I was hoping maybe it was just the battery." "Nah." He says, "You need a new unit." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll be down." I said, "How much?" And he staggered me
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
price.
I've said, I bet you're going to be shocked.
So I stopped at Kevin Roach's on the way, and he said, "Well, let me just change the battery in it, Bill." Put a new battery in it. It worked for about 3 days, and then it died.
Died again.
So I said, I didn't like the dealer, so I called a different dealer. Described my problem, and he said, "Well, He said, it's expensive to replace. I said, pray tell why.
Because they can make it so.
He said, you gotta understand, he said, we have to program a new unit specifically to your vehicle. I said, and? He said, it's time consuming. And he said, we have to test it and all of this. I said, and? He said, $400. I said, I don't think so. I can drive with my key, my manual little key, and that's the end of it. Well, I only had one key because when I bought this car used, the lady couldn't find her second set of keys. So my wife said, no. Now, I also left out just a little bit of the story. I said, can I bring the key in and have you copy it? He said, no. He said, it won't work. I said, fine. I said, oh, what's my alternatives? He said, pony up the $400 or bring the car in and we'll give you a good price on a trade-in and trade the old piece of junk in for something new.
Yeah, either way, it was what they wanted in the first place.
I said, I don't think so. So I said to my wife, we'll drive it with the key while I figure my next move. So I was driving past Ace Locksmith in Norwood on Washington Street, 1182 Washington Street in Norwood Flats. Ace Locksmith. Now I said, I've seen that sign there for 40 or 50 years.
Yep.
Maybe he can copy the key. So I made a little circle and came back and parked, went in and talked to Peter. And I said, what's going on? He says, oh, yeah. He says, I'll take care of that for you. I said, you can do that? He says, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, the dealer made this sound like brain surgery.
Yeah. They do.
He said, I'll tell you what. He said, I order stuff from a key wholesaler down in New Jersey. I get free freight when it's over $100. He said, I've only got $40 on my order right now. He said, this piece is going to cost me $20. He said, in another day or two, I'll be over the $100. I'll get you a key. He said, and then, he said, I will call you and you bring the car down.
Yeah.
I said, great. So I said, any idea on the price? He said, you'll be happy. He said, I'll get to see what the guy charges me for this. I haven't ordered one of these for a while, blah, blah, blah. So went down. So I said, walked in. I said, here's my car keys. And he goes, oh, great. He says, yeah. He said, I'll do you next. I said, so should I take a walk someplace and kill some time? Or I said, I like walking, so I can, if I got to be gone for an hour or two. He said, try that chair right over there, Bill. He said, this won't take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Took out a box, black box. Yellow light, red light. Slots, 2 slots. One key goes here, the blank goes here.
Yeah, copies it over.
He goes, boop. And he said, do, 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 do. And the other light comes on. He said, well, now, so we did something else. And he read the key that he just made. He said, it's identical to the key we have in there.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah. I did see one of the ACE circulars said that they can do that too.
Yeah. Now.
I don't know how much it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, I said, how much do I owe you? I pulled out the old credit card. He goes, let me see. He said the blank cost me $22. Something else. No, it was 42. 42. Now, that was the list. He got
Yeah,
a
okay.
discount right now. But he said, 62 will be fine. 60. I said,
As
but
opposed to the 400 that
the
they wanted.
dealer
Yeah.
told me that this programming the key was like half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever. He said they have the same box I have, Bill. Put the key in, put the blank in,
Yeah.
hit the button, and he said 30 seconds later or 45 seconds later it's all done and you're walking out the door. He said that is the biggest ripoff known to man. So boys and girls, same thing applies to this fob. Bring it down. I recommend Ace down in Norwood, and you'll save one humongous pile of money. So much for show and tell today.
Smart shoppers, that's what this is.
I'll tell you, but if you don't ask questions, you don't
get
answers.
that's right.
Yeah. Dwayne, this morning there was some scary stuff, either in the paper or on TV. The New York Times editorial by Stephen Ratner, a well-known economist, criticizes President Biden over inflation. He said, how could they have gotten this situation so wrong so badly?
Well, he's not the only one calling alarms.
Right, Larry Summers is too.
Yeah. I was
He
going to say
said,
Summers does too.
We all warned him about this.
Yeah.
But his stooges are saying it's a good sign, inflation, because we're all so wealthy and doing so well, people are spending aggressively. It's a sign that America is doing great.
It is initially for the first 10 feet, so to speak. But it's like opening a cage to pet the tiger. You pet the cage, you pet the tiger walks out. You're not getting him back.
No, you're not. And it's like using the credit card. When you go in and you buy a new appliance or pay for a $150 dinner with your friends.
Look at
okay? It's easy to do.
Oh.
But when that envelope comes at the end of the month and you open it up and go, my word, I didn't think it would be that much. That's exactly what's happened
I
here.
can't tell you how many times I've added up that individualized charges on the credit card. It says that can't be $3,300.
That is, though, isn't
It
it?
was
All the time.
right to the penny.
This is the mentality that's running our country.
Oh yeah, it's
And it's running it into the bloody ground.
but
we're gonna
everything
have to
is
pay for this.
everything is today.
Yeah.
Everybody from the government on down thinks I need. It's never I need, it's I want. But I think I need it, but it's just that I want
I
it.
want it.
And I want it now. There's no deferred of any kind of gratification anymore. I want what I want, and I want it now.
Dwayne, it's like going to a dance. While the music is here playing and you got a beautiful woman in your arms, you're in heaven.
Yep.
When the music stops, it's all over. She
That's right.
walks away, and you say, what happened? Well, that's what's going to happen here.
Oh, yeah.
This runaway inflation is going to cause
It-
lots and lots of problems.
it
Is it
causes
going to be with the wealthy?
No.
No.
No,
It's
no,
going to
no.
be the middle class and the sub-middle class.
And who else? Us, the
Yeah.
seniors.
Seniors,
Because
absolutely.
we are dependent on accrued savings. in an inflationary times, it's just like your savings account's just going, you're not taking anything out of it,
Yep.
but it's just going down and down and down and down in value.
So what you're forced into is more of your assets going into stocks
Oh, absolutely.
because the bond market is dead.
Or precious metals, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Inflation hedges. Yeah.
I think you see these ads all the time, but the price of silver and gold is going to spike, and I think it is. It's just because of inflationary times.
Strange that you should mention that. The high for gold,
Is how much now?
1,809. I'm gonna round it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was $1,892.
Yeah, that's high.
And it was exactly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, August 22nd,
Right.
2011. That's when it hit its all-time high, 1892. I didn't look at it this morning, but the last time I figured it out, today's price over a 10-year span is down 6.2%. Now, that's quite a hedge on inflation, isn't it?
Yeah,
huh?
it is.
I mean, and these guys on TV, gold is going to surge. This expert says so, or this bozo
You got to
says
remember,
so.
anybody that's selling something, that's different.
Yeah.
You know, they have a different dog in the fight, so that's you got to be awful careful of that.
Yeah. When you got real financial analysts on the TV shows, they'll say things like, perhaps 5% in gold might be a hedge on
course.
inflation.
But you don't want to put everything in it.
No. But the way the gold bugs are talking,
Yeah.
oh, put it all in gold. You can't miss.
Or these guys, they sell the coins, the
Yeah.
Cougarons
Yeah.
and stuff. You're paying such a premium for
are.
their profit, plus the fact that it's a minted coin. It's crazy.
It is. It is. I mean, 20% surcharge over a bar of
Yeah.
gold. Yeah. Well, also this morning, Elon Musk,
Okay.
the entrepreneur that began Tesla Motors,
Tesla. Yep.
gave out a little
No.
Twitter or whatever the
Okay.
hell it is they do. And he commented on President Biden's visit to Detroit yesterday
Okay.
and congratulating General Motors for leadership into electric vehicles. He said the president evidently forgot about Tesla and what we've been doing when he brought his clown show to Detroit. That's pretty strong language
You know, it's
to be talking about the president in a fashion like that. But in Goldman Sachs this morning put out a letter, and it said, "Greed outpaces fear. Be careful with your investments." Now that's the first call that Goldman has put out,
For-
that maybe it's time to keep your powder dry.
yeah. Because there's so much speculation in the market right now. It's
Yeah.
there's so much of that money that's there is inflationary market. I don't mean inflation in the economy sense. I mean inflated in the price.
Yeah.
There's no price value to it.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. Now, we are not financial advisors, and I would never, ever advise any of the viewers on something
Yeah,
as important as that. The only thing I can say is a couple of times that I have got burnt in the stock market was selling out
Yep.
and going to the sidelines.
Yeah.
You can never tell where the bottom is.
No, you can't.
So you don't know when to buy back in. And is this surge up? Is this just an aberration, or is this a long-term trend? Is that just a spike? And before you know it, you've the time to buy back in is gone.
Yeah. You're right. You can't. It's
Buy and hold has been the most successful.
put in what you're comfortable with and leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy Warren Buffett said it best: buy good companies that you can see yourself holding for 10 years and leave it alone. Also this morning,
I don't dwindle in the market. We got quite a bit of money in the market as such, but we're with Merrill Lynch and whatever. They said, "What do you want to do?" I don't know this stuff. That's why you're getting a commission on this thing to take care of it.
yeah,
I would never go in and tell them to buy this and sell that and buy this. I know people that every morning they get up saying, "I want you to sell 100 shares of this and buy this and buy that." Come on, you just.
there's a lot of information on the website at a place like Fidelity or a place like T. Rowe Price or Schwab, and you can go into it and say, what is the Schwab's outlook on IBM stock this morning? And they'll have perhaps 4 or 5 or 6 articles that have been posted in the last few days by analysts, or they'll have bits and pieces of information, and they just, like a tennis ball, you hit it over the fence at them, they hit it back at you. Well, here's some information. Go ahead and look at it yourself. Make up your own mind.
I would say, if you're so damn smart, why don't you buy it yourself and be a billionaire?
Got that part right. Also this morning, OSHA is suspending the mandates for vaccinations for large companies.
OSHA is.
OSHA.
Okay.
Now, seems to me OSHA is part of the government, and the
Yeah,
government
of
is the one issuing the mandates.
Yep.
Is this the left hand and the right hand again?
Probably. Probably.
Can't they all get on the same playbook and sing the same song?
No, I think anytime you got a government agency or agencies, there's always that dogfight over territory.
Yeah.
And authority. I mean, I used to see it when I used to deal with in the military when I was in intelligence groups. We didn't trust DIA. They didn't trust NSA. They didn't want CIA. And if you get something, don't let the FBI get it, because it's your information and you stuff. Even though it would have been better off, much better off, if every agency was notified of everything that everybody had, but they didn't do that. They kept everything to themselves because it was territorial.
Because the director wanted to look good.
Exactly.
Look at my agency.
Yep.
And of course, his underlings were doing what they could to prop him up because they were going to be rewarded downstream. And it all filtered down. We're on a big team.
Mm-hmm.
We're in this together. Not those arrogant SOBs at the FBI. We don't want them looking at what we're doing. They'll steal what we're doing and claim credit for it. And this all goes back to J. Edgar Hoover.
Oh, yeah,
And
exactly.
the intense secrecy. But I don't know who's running things in Washington, because this is a situation that the greatest country on earth, run by intelligent people, we have this morass. I mean,
It is hard. It's hard to believe when
It
you
is.
look at it.
And we can argue Donald Trump until the cows come home. But when he labeled that outfit in Washington as the swamp, he called it exactly right.
I don't know the exact anymore. There's so many stories, but take December 7th of 41, Pearl Harbor. One of the outfits had an idea that whether the naval intelligence or somebody else, and I don't remember the details, it was coming.
Yeah.
But their communication system they couldn't communicate, and they were damned if they were going to tell it to the Navy and let them use their communications and get credit for it. So nobody told them.
No one wanted to say an attack is coming,
Yeah, eminent.
because if they're wrong,
That's
they
right.
will be reassigned to Nome,
Oh,
Alaska.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ends your career.
Mhm.
The whole thing stinks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know, I've often said, I've seen 2 organizations in my life that to my way of thinking, are totally squared away. Disney World
Yep.
in Florida
Particularly for handling people.
and the U.S. Army.
Yep. Two of them. Thank you.
The U.S. Army,
Yeah, they are good. They're
we
really
can,
good.
we can complain about that, but they have got an answer for every eventuality,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got it all figured out.
Well, you think you got hundreds of thousands of people scattered all over the world, and at any given time, and this was pre-computer.
Yes.
This what you and I were talking about was the old paper shuffling
Exactly.
around. They could tell you, maybe not within 2 seconds, but they could tell you, oh, Joe Smith, oh yeah, he's in Germany at this right now here, and somebody else, he's over here in this part of the world. They knew that.
Yeah.
They could find it, and
Yeah.
because everything was done by the book, but with a procedure.
Also, racial relations. Truman ended segregation. That's it. It's over in the Army.
Yep.
They lived with it. They got it straightened out. Now, the Army's not perfect. I think there's always going to be friction
Oh,
among
absolutely.
different folks for
Yep.
different reasons. But
Okay,
the generally speaking, the Army is way ahead of society.
yeah. Criticize what you want. People laugh at them, but they really got their act together.
One other thing, and then I'm going to sign off, folks. In the U.S., in the news this morning, overdose deaths
Up. Yeah.
topped 100,000 people per rolling 12
Right, right.
months. Over 78,000 the previous 12 months, which is almost 30% increase
Yeah,
in
that's-
OD deaths. Well, what are we doing about that? I mean, is this the can-do administration down in Washington? What are they doing?
I'm not sure that Washington has a whole lot of relationship to it, but that's a subject that we can pick right up on the next program. Because,
I think we will.
Yep.
Folks, this has been a pure delight, not only for you, but for us.
Absolutely.
Us visiting with you, and we are going to take a break, and we'll come back with a second show, and we will continue this high-level discussion.
Oh, absolutely. See
Take
you
care,
soon.
folks.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.